with Jason Ringenberg. Today I'm here on the Hennepin Canal in Barrow County, Illinois, one of my favorite places in the whole world. Now this old bridge that you see behind me, this is near Lock 14 on the Hennepin Canal. And me and my friends used to hang out a lot on that old bridge. We'd park our cars at the foot of the bridge and we'd play our 8-track tapes really, really loud and, just have a good old time right out here in the beautiful wilds of Barrow County. Now, one of the artists that we listened to in those days was John Prine. There were a few of us, crazy music heads here in Barrow County that were John Prine fans. Now, John Prine, I wouldn't say that, I was a friend of his, and God bless his memory. He was a fantastic artist, an incredible songwriter, and just a great human being. But I wouldn't say that I knew John Prine personally. However, I did have a few sort of interesting experiences with John Prine over the years in my music. For example, once Jason and the Scorchers were doing a tribute concert to Jimmie Rodgers in Cleveland, Ohio at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we did our little set there. It was a really cool tribute concert. There was Iris DeMint was on the bill, Gillian Welch, Leonard Skinner, and Jason and the Scorchers. Lots of cool folks. We did our little 3-song set, and it was a good set. We did a good set. We closed with Jimmie Rodgers' Last Blue Yodel. And as we were rocking out doing the song, about the middle of the song, I looked out into the audience, and although this was a Hall of Fame event, it was sort of a rock and roll mosh pit right in front of the stage. And right in front of the stage, I looked down, and there was John Prine. Not being John Prine, just being sort of a dude hearing some music that he was liking. He was sort of rocking out, having a big old time. So we finished the song, and it was the end of our set, so we hurried and got our stuff off the stage because Leonard Skinner was next. And frankly, you didn't, with Leonard Skinner's crew, you didn't want to have your stuff on stage any longer than it was supposed to be. So we ran and got our stuff off. I ran back down to the front of the stage, and John was still there. So I shook his hand and just thanked him for being there. And, all he said was, Jason, I really loved the set. That was a lot of fun. I especially liked your joke about you thought this was going to be a Paul Rodgers tribute concert, and you had learned a bunch of Bad Company songs. I thought that was really funny. So, that touched my heart. John Prine got my joke. I'm not sure a lot of other folks, got the joke about Paul Rodgers, Jimmie Rodgers. But anyway, I expected John would sort of come backstage and hang out and be cool and, be John Prine, but he didn't. He just sort of wandered back through the crowd and sort of disappeared into the darkness. So, a few years later, I was at sort of a downtime in my career, and I was working as a carpenter on a framing crew in Nashville. That was how I was making my living and taking care of my family. And on the crew, the main cutting person was Rachel, John Prine's ex-wife. So, Rachel was the person that was doing the complex cuts, and then she would, throw the boards up to us who were up on the rafters and stuff, framing the houses out. So she had a really important job. She was really good at it. She was a good cut person. But I have to say it was profoundly strange to yell out to John Prine's ex-wife, I need a 37 and 3/8 2x4 long point on a 45-degree angle. It was just a strange thing, and very Nashville thing to do. Only in Nashville would you have John Prine's ex-wife on your framing crew. So today I'm going to sing a song that's a John Prine song. And to tell you a little bit about, how I got into John Prine here in Barrow County, there was a neighbor of ours named Mike Baldwin. And Mike was a cool guy, really heavy into music. I was really good friends with his son, Kenny Baldwin. And later I dated his daughter, Janet Baldwin. Now Mike was, one of the few people in Bureau County that wasn't into Boston and REO Speedwagon. Mike was, he was heavy into Dylan and Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash, and his favorite artist was John Prine. And, I was been aware of Prine before knowing Mike. My sister brought home that first record of his, the John Prine record from college, my sister Marie. So I had listened a little bit to him, but Mike really got me heavy into John Prine. Mike knew all the John Prine songs. He could sing them. He could sing and play a little bit of guitar, and and so he and he had all the John Prine records. So, we would hang out at his house and we'd sing songs, and I'd bring my guitar and my instruments over, and Mike actually had that 1963 green Gretsch anniversary guitar that I've used in umpteen photo shoots over the years. It's become part of my music, really. Mike owned that guitar, and he sold it to me, as later, a few years later, after we were hanging out at his house and I started playing music for real. He sold me that guitar at a very low price, $325. He sold me that green guitar for. But anyway, Mike, I remember would play he'd play Cash songs on that Gretsch guitar, and it just sounded so fantastic, so wonderful. So Mike was an interesting guy. He was a Vietnam veteran. He had served in the American Navy on a gunboat in the Mekong River. I'm not talking about a battleship or a destroyer. I mean a gunboat, one of them little things that were, they were basically armed yachts. And I don't mean that in a luxury way. I mean they were that small. They were just little tiny boats. And there was a crew, there was just a few folks on these crews, and they'd go out and patrol the Mekong River. Now Mike didn't talk about it a lot, but as we got to know each other, and he shared some of his experiences of getting shot at, and Mike was a really gentle, kind human being, and he said the first time he got shot at, he was like, why are these people shooting at me? I have nothing against them. I don't mean them any harm. I'm just here doing my job. And he would talk about, one time they got hit with a rocket, and the boat got on fire, and he got by the explosion he got thrown down the hold. He wasn't seriously wounded, but he definitely carried those memories with him. So I'm going to do a song now that's not one of Prine's more famous songs, and it's a song about the Vietnam War and about a sailor coming home from Vietnam, and I think Mike related to this song a lot. It's off the Diamonds in the Rough record, which was my favorite John Prine record. So many great songs on that record. Everybody Loves Somebody, Billy the Bum, just fantastic songs on that record. And this one, Mike turned me on to, so I'm going to sing it now to you folks. Now, you may say, Vietnam's over. It's long ago forgotten. We've gotten over that. And to that I would say, to the folks that served in Vietnam, that's not the case. They carry that with them for the rest of their lives. So, I dedicate this to Mike Baldwin and to all the veterans of Vietnam. So here we go, folks. This song is called Take the Star Out of the Window. Johnny was a sailor all the best years of his life. The captain was his mother and the ocean was his wife. When they fresh out of the cradle, last one and only spring, he was sworn to do his duty and got blood on his high school ring. And it's a hello California, hello Dad and Mom, ship ahoy, your baby boy is home from Vietnam. Don't you ask me any questions, got the medals on my chest. Take the star out of the window, let my conscience take a rest. So he sailed across the ocean to the old Far Eastern War. It was foreign to his body, it was foreign to his shore. So he traded in better times he'd seen. Made a Cambodian waitress his own homecoming queen. It's a hello California, hello Dad and Mom. Ship ahoy, your baby boy is home from Vietnam. Don't you ask me any questions, not the medals on my chest. Take the star out of the window, let my conscience take a rest. With the hello California, hello Dad and Mom. Ship ahoy, your baby boy is home from Vietnam. Just to ask me any questions, not the medals on my chest. Take the star out of the window, let my conscience take a rest. Take the star out of the window, let my conscience take a rest. Take the star out of the window, let my conscience take a rest. Take the star out of the window, folks. And I'd like to end by just once again thanking you Vietnam veterans for your service to our country and for the sacrifices that you made on our behalf.